Good evening, everyone. Mary Esther Gilbert back again for another tidbit that turns into a little bit longer than just a tidbit, but I just thought I would share some information about dietary fats. So much confusion about this subject. I just want to clear it all up for everyone and encourage everyone to not be afraid to eat fats, but keep them in perspective, keep them in the right balance, and do everything else that you need to do to metabolize those fats, like exercise, getting enough rest, managing your stress, blah, blah, blah. You've heard that story before, and I'm sure we're all doing our best to manage those things in our lives. But here's some really good news about fats. Yeah, your body stores fats, and when you exercise, your body tends not to store as many fats. In fact, you can dip into your fat stores and burn fat for energy when you're exercising, particularly the fat-burning exercises, which are called the aerobic exercises, which includes running, walking, hiking, something that you do when you do work, physical work, on a sustained amount of time to kick into the fat-burning stage or the ATP energy production cycle. So in everyday, activities, when we read, when we talk, when we walk, when we do mild forms of exercise, short bursts of energy, things like that, we utilize our glucose, which is the unit of sugar molecule in the body. And sometimes when we exercise, we'll do some weight training. And that kind of weight resistance, physical labor kind of work will stimulate the body to uptake a lot of that blood sugar and convert it to a muscle starch stored in the muscles known as glycogen. So when we're low on blood sugar, if you missed a meal or you're waking up in the morning, you're feeling hungry, your body is running on, the results of the night rest, so there's not much blood sugar circulating in the circulatory system. So your body will dip into the blood glucose, circulating in the system. So, sometimes you'll get up and you'll start doing things, and you'll start feeling hungry, lightheaded. You feel like you need some carbohydrates. That's the first thing people crave when they are slightly depleted of the blood sugar. So, a good meal will help restore the proper amounts of blood sugar in the body. And then being active throughout the day, especially exercise, will help you burn more calories as you go along. And so, of course, that's when you get hungry again. So there's this whole cycle, right, of nourishing your body and paying attention to the kinds of foods that you put into your body. So that brings me to today's subject, which is putting the right types of fats in your body. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you the book that I'm working on right now, almost finished, and it's called the Nutritional Synergy System, which is the system that I've created over decades that includes a lot more divided categories of the different types of foods. It's not just a very basic, your average dietary guidelines kind of system. It is divided into actually 14 categories, but there's actually 12 food categories to choose from. And in so choosing from this system, you are automatically providing your body with the full array of vitamins, minerals, active enzymes that are so important for every single biological process in the body. Raw foods contain these wonderful enzymes. Your body manufactures enzymes for so many different types of activities that perpetuate and metabolize everything. So when you start exercising and you start getting plenty of sunshine, fresh air, and you're eating from this food choice system that I developed, then your body will naturally be receiving the full range of nutrients, including the phytochemical compounds that are so very important for our health that are found in the plant kingdom. So there are literally thousands of these compounds that will help detoxify, will help the immune system destroy invasive illness-causing microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, and even help the body eliminate toxins, environmental toxins. We take in toxins all the time. Unfortunately, they're in the water, in the food, in the air we breathe, and they're in the full, array of different types of products that we purchase, whether it's cosmetics or household cleaners, or even in the workplace. There are synthetic chemicals that sometimes people are coming in contact with on a daily basis. So these biochemical compounds that are found in the plant kingdom will always be able to bind to these toxic synthetics and help the body eliminate them through the eliminative organs. So eating fats is very important because they're the precursors to all of the 10,000 hormones that the body has to manufacture every day. And these hormones regulate different processes in the body. They communicate with the nervous system to complete tasks. And so they just do a whole array of different things in the body. They work with the immune system. These hormones are the regulating, policing kind of molecules that are just circulating in the body at all times. So we have to balance those. We have to nourish that part of the system. And by doing that, of course, it includes a full array of nutrients, the vitamins and the minerals, but it also includes the right types of fats. Now, those types of fats, whether they're animal-derived fats or plant-derived fats, are the precursors to those 10,000 hormones that the body makes every day. So it's very important to eat the right kinds of fats. Now, there's wrong kinds of fats and there's right kinds of fats. So the wrong kinds of fats are those that have been heated at high temperatures, and they cause the molecular structures, especially the plant oils, to form what are called polymers, but they are like plastic. And we don't have the enzymes to break down those plastics, and we break them down to a point, but there's still these little sticky particles that are circulating throughout the bloodstream, and they clog the arteries. They cause damage to the arteries. They form clots, and so that's danger of getting a stroke. And they form the hardened plaques that are found in the arteries, which is called the atherosclerosis. So there's different forms of heart disease that these types of fats are very notorious for being responsible. So when you eat the right types of fats, though, they actually can help break apart a lot of these plaques. So you really want to stay away from the heated oils and what are called hydrogenated oils, which are the heated plant oils that have been set in like a chamber, and they are bombarded with hydrogen atoms. So that's why they're called hydrogenated fats. So stay away from the shortenings and the margarines, because those will just clog up the arteries and actually also destroy the nerve cells. The outer coating of the nerve cells require the right types of fats to coat the nerve cells to protect the nerve, so that it can continue on with its transmission and communication, firing of the neurons kind of functioning. So again, the wrong types of fats are the culprits for so many things. They clog the system, they cause heart disease, and they impair the microcirculatory system in every organ. So you can have, fatty liver, inflammatory responses, so there can be pain involved. I mean, there's just a whole array, this whole plethora of health issues when someone eats the wrong plasticized kinds of fats. So let's get into the whole food fats and the healing fats, which is what I like to call them, because they're so anti-inflammatory. The right whole food fats are anti-inflammatory, and they help the body produce many of the fluids in the body, like between the joints and in the spinal column, the cerebrospinal fluids. And so they help attenuate the body's temperature. So it's a temperature control mechanism also that the body uses the fats for. And they help actually construct the strong and firm yet flexible structure of our trillions of cells. So at the macro level, we've got more flexible skin and healthier looking skin. So, of course, there's a lot of things that contribute to healthy skin or unhealthy skin. So that's a story for another day. But the whole food fats actually help contribute to all sorts of health benefits. So I'm just going to pick out a few things from the book that I'm currently editing, but this section is done, and the book is almost completed, and I will be announcing it to whomever would like to be notified when the book is finished. It's called Nutritional Synergy, and the Nutritional Synergy system that I created many years ago is the whole basis of this book. So this is the whole food fats and oils section, but I'll just show you what's going to be somewhat the cover. Nutritional synergy, optimal cellular nourishment, healing the quantum light energy body, nutritional health mastery, choosing superfoods and superior supplements. I go into the supplements also. I've been examining ingredients in supplements for decades. And so, and then health recovery, youthful longevity. So all the nutrients that I'll be talking about throughout the book, and today I'll be going over the fats, they all contribute to youthful longevity. So you want quality longevity. You don't want to live a long time and yet be decrepit and debilitated and unable to enjoy life. You want to remain fit and active and, with all your mental faculties and all of your physical abilities. And it's completely possible with the right nutrients and the right stimulation through the right types of exercise. So also true health vibrancy. What's happening at the micro level, at the quantum energy level, is quite spectacular, because once the body becomes healthy, it vibrates at a higher frequency. And so this is also covered in this book, and I kind of depict that in the book photograph here, where you can see what's called the Merkaba that's constantly spinning within the vortex, the energetic and magnetic vortex in the body that just comes through the body all the way out and back down and through the body again. It just continuously flows that way. So it's like a vortex, and this vortex exists in nature and throughout the universe. It exists in the earth. The earth also has a vortex flux magnetic pattern. So we are very much embedded and an intricate part of the earth and the universe. So we aren't separate from it, we are part of it. So it's important to get into that energetic flow through the right foods and optimize your health so that you can also go with the flow, literally. So that's why I like to depict that here. And as you can see, there's like a double helix of the DNA in the background there, along with the Merkaba, and just the bioenergy field that radiates out from the body several feet on all sides, that has been shown to depict a healthy person. So that if a person is sick, then their light energy frequency is a bit diminished, and so they're not vibrating at a high enough frequency to emit enough of those biophotons and create that strong and vibrant energy field. So when a person gets well, I've seen this over the years when they come to me with health issues and I show them how to nourish their bodies properly and balance everything out for them, they transform. It's not just about physical health, it's about emotional, psychological, and cognitive functioning, and just being more alive and being more vibrant and being more positive, being more proactive, all of those uplifting qualities that people love to be around someone that's like that, right? So this is what this book is going to be all about. So if you'd like to get on the mailing list, just go to my website, holisticchoices.com, and click on Books by Mary Esther Gilbert or Contact, click on the contact link, and I just fill in the blanks there, put your name and your email address, and just state, please let me know when this book is available, kind of thing, because there's a lot of people that are waiting for this book, and I just don't want you to miss the thing. This is the key to really mastering your health, and there will be a class associated with the book as well, with the book as the official textbook for the class. So I'll be announcing the class too as soon as I finish this book, and the other book that goes kind of along with it, called Eating for Physical Power, Physical Strength and Power. Those two will be published side by side. So anyone who wants to have the best knowledge about strengthening the body and burning off body fat and raising your metabolism so that you're utilizing nutrients at a much more efficient level, and also nutritional synergy for making sure that you're gathering together all of the right nutrients in your daily food choices and your supplement choices in order to optimize your health vibrancy as well. So I'm really excited about this one. Every time I write a book, I'm more excited about the last one, but this one has been a long time in the making. This is based on the system that I've been using for people to help them get well and to really improve their health and just create their true health mastery. All right, with all of that preamble, I do go off on tangents, but I can't help it. This is information that I'm trying to educate humanity so that we have a higher percentage of the population that's optimally and vibrantly healthful. When you have a strong, healthy population, the world is automatically a better place because we are more creative and more courageous and innovative. We have the energy to go out and do so many great things in the world. So this is what I'm trying to do. My mission is to get humanity to, more of humanity to that level. It's needed so badly, isn't it, right now? And I suppose that's an evergreen statement. It will always be that way. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go into the table of contents and go back to that section that had the fats in it. So as you can see, there's different sections in the book, going over all the different types of nutrients, nutritional supplements, and all of that. So I think I must have passed it because it's all the way down to the bottom chapter here. So let me go back up to the fats. Where are the fats? So there's the carbohydrates. There are the fats right there. So let's go back to that page there. Whole food fats and oils. So, when you take in fats, they're going to have twice as many calories as carbohydrate foods and protein foods. So being aware of that extra energy value tells you that you have to scale down the percentage of fats that you take in your diet every day, just so that you don't take in too many calories in the form of fat and therefore, unbalance your whole food carbohydrates and your protein sources. It's all about synergy and it's all about balance. Okay, so that's what that first paragraph implies. And I talk about, balancing it. As you can see here, I'm going to stretch this out a little bit so you can see it better. Don't mind my background on my computer. I just collect all kinds of beautiful photographs and I just throw them on my slideshow on my computer. So animal-derived fats, they get such a bad rap. We are animal kind of creatures, and we produce body fat. When we take in too many calories, our body immediately converts the excess calories to body fat. And also, fats can be stored everywhere in the body, really. It doesn't have to be under the skin. It can be, between the liver tissues or just in the subcutaneous tissues that and the tissues that surround our organs. I mean, there's all kinds of places the body can store body fat. So the whole idea is to constantly burn enough calories every day just by exercising. You don't have to count calories and be all crazy about calorie counting. That's not necessary. Just monitor how hungry you are and how full you are and how active you are and how not active you might be from one day to another. So it's always a matter of being conscious of not eating too much, but eating nutrient-dense foods so that your body can receive everything it needs to maintain its energy levels and to do all the multiple trillions of processes it needs to keep you alive and well. Okay, so there is a balance there. So animal-derived fats from animal food sources are needed for manufacturing thousands of regulating, monitoring hormones, as well as helping to ensure the proper maintenance of all the cells in the entire body. So these are called saturated fats. Animal-derived fats are always molecularly called saturated fats, and they play a key role, like I said earlier, in reducing inflammation, helping regulate body temperature. Since animal fats contain cholesterol, and our own bodies will manufacture its own cholesterol, because cholesterol is the very foundation for the structure of all of our cells. So when a person does not eat enough cholesterol, the body just taps into its reserves and starts manufacturing cholesterol. When you take it in dietarily, it's all in a package, with the excess calories and all. So you have to keep it in the right proportion, in the right percentage. And there's a pie chart in my book here that will show you the percentages of the different categories of foods and energy nutrients that the body requires. So keeping it all into balance. So then, along with the fatty acids that you take in, animal fats, healthy animals do contain the full array of the different types of fats, be they the polyunsaturated fats or monounsaturated fats or even the saturated fats. Normally, animal sources are considered to be saturated fats because that's the majority of the type of fat in the healthy animal. Unhealthy animals may not have all these different types of healthy fats in their bodies. So, it's important to keep that in mind, to not consume an animal-derived protein source that is from an unhealthy animal. And, these things our bodies definitely need the types of proteins from animal-derived foods and, of course, the fatty acids that they have to offer too. So treating our animals with the greatest respect, like the Native Americans have always done, or any indigenous peoples, before our time, always treated animals with the utmost respect and gratitude for them giving up their lives for the strength and health of their bodies. So this is something that I do as a ritual every time I sit down to eat something, be it a snack or a large meal. I always go through this, routine of thanking God for the creation and for the animal itself that gave up its life for me, and also to all of the farm workers, and the food production, distribution people, the truckers. I mean, I go through this whole rigmarole of gratitude, and I've got to. These animals are beautiful, and they're capable of loving, and I really wish we didn't have to eat those animals, but I didn't create us. The science tells us that when we break down these animal tissues, we're breaking them down to the essential amino acids that our bodies can't produce on our own. And yeah, we can get them from different plants because some plants have one or two of the amino acids, but the animal-derived foods always have all of those amino acids as the building blocks for us to build our tissues and cells and the whole entire structure. Everything is practically protein in the body other than water. So anyhow, getting back to the fats, yes, animal-derived fats are necessary for our health in the right proportion and in synergy with all of the other types of foods. Now, some people say, well, what about the all protein, all animal diet? Well, no, we need those phytochemicals that will help destroy a lot of the microorganisms that happen to be in our bodies and in animal bodies. So when we cook those animal-derived protein sources, we want to make sure that they're properly cooked and properly handled so that we don't get sick from the microorganisms that are lingering there. And so, that's just a fact of life. That's just the cycle of life. That's just how it is. I wish it could be different, but we do need to add the plant kingdom to help tone down the growth of those microorganisms. Ever since ever since the invention of the microscopic electronic microscopy, a whole new world was discovered, and it might gross you out to think that, oh my goodness, we are the host for so many microorganisms that are even way smaller than the micro organisms like bacteria or even viruses that are even smaller. Well, there are many types of organisms that exist on our body as we are the host to so many microorganisms. But apparently, from what scientists have shown, that they are in synergy and homeostasis with the body. So there's this balance, and we live in harmony, together like that. And I hope this doesn't gross a lot of people out, but hey, it's always been that way, so we might as well just live with it, right? And of course, there are microorganisms that make us very ill, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the synergy of the microorganisms that are even so small that no one ever discovered them until the electron microscopy equipment was able to detect them. And they learn so much about the body also. I mean, you go even deeper into the tissues and the cells and the inner universe in our body. So it's really exciting stuff. So animal-derived fats are important. We do need them, but we have to balance them with the plant fats. If we don't, then we've got health issues. If you eat only plant fats and not animal-derived fats, there will be some cell structure damage, and so that can create all kinds of problems like skin issues, even cancer sometimes. So we do need the whole range of animal and plant fats. So I'm quoting all of this, many years of research here in a nutshell for you here, but you know, this book, everything that I write and everything that I research, I always include the scientific documentation so that people can go and read it for themselves. So in every single book that I write, every single report, every single thing I've ever produced, I've always backed myself up with scientific substantiation, just so you know. Okay, so you know, this is a picture in the book of a cutaway of the microcell membrane. So every one of our cells has this membrane, and on the membrane surface there are all of these receptor sites and all of these distinguishing, you know, things that read and detect what arrives through the microcirculatory system or circulatory system, and how when nutrients arrive at these cells that compose our tissues and structures, you know, everything is composed of cells, so that at the macro level we are composed of trillions of cells. So this cell membrane is typical, huge, of course, blow up, you know, colossal blow up. We can't even see a cell with our naked eye. These are the receptor sites where it detects what can be allowed inside the inner world of inside of our cells, where the DNA resides, where our protein manufacturing cells, protein manufacturing organelles reside, and where things get repurposed and taken apart molecularly and repurposed and rebuilt molecularly into other types of molecules. And so you know, there's this inflow and outflow of water and nutrients always happening at this level. So there's these cell receptor sites that and these are composed of cholesterol, by the way. You know, we can't have this kind of intricate cell structure without the presence of cholesterol. So a lot of these different types of fats arrive there, and if you're eating a fried oil or a hydrogenated, or you know, they're called trans fats, then it will not be allowed through the cell in the inner environment where life happens, where disease starts if things are damaged, or where healing is occurring when the right conditions allow, which is the right nutrition. Okay, so nutrient density is the key here, and the right types of molecules in that nutrition is so key to good health and to correcting, you know, a lot of the damage that's done when people don't nourish their bodies properly. They're taking in the wrong molecules or the wrong foods. Okay, so this is just an idea. Gives you an idea of the magnitude of the importance of nutrients that go inside of our inner environment of the human cell. All right, so yeah, this cell membrane is extremely important. We have to be able to decipher and interpret the molecules that are arriving at the cell receptor site and will be pushed through those membranes. There's two layers, as you can see, inside the cell. Okay, so plant-derived fats, then we get into the various types of fatty acids. You know, there's so many different kinds of fatty acids, both in animal fats and in plant fats. So in plant fats, basically, we've got the omega-3s, the omega-6s, and omega-9 fatty acids. Everyone must have heard of those basic types of fatty acids in plants by now. Heck, they've been around for, you know, decades. So the body can't manufacture the omega-3s or the 6s on its own. They're needed in the correct ratio. So 3-to-1, 3 omega-3 fatty acids to 1 of omega-6 fatty acids. Now, if you transpose that ratio, you're going to have all kinds of inflammatory reactions and, even skin problems, all kinds of skin problems. So you want to again, it helps maintain the structure of the cells so that you have nice, flexible, youthful cells, and therefore nice, flexible, youthful skin, and very strong, and flexible organs, all that kind of thing. So the fatty acids are so important. They're also the precursors to the thousands of hormones I mentioned. Just about in every time I talk, I end up talking about the thousands of hormones. They do so many things. It's not just about reproductive hormones, or moods that regulate, hormones that regulate our moods or anything like that. So there's so many other starting and stopping of processes that occur in the body, including the distribution and utilization of these very important fatty acids that our bodies can't manufacture. Then we've got the fish fats. Fish used to be such a healthy thing to consume, but unfortunately our oceans and our water sources have become quite polluted. And I hope that we humans will get on the ball and get these water sources cleaned up. I know there are many concerted efforts to get this done. Don't know how long it's going to take. Hopefully someone or some ones will come up with a technology that will actually, help us clean up our water sources much faster than the predicted, thousands of years it would take to have the earth cleanse itself gradually and slowly over time. So it's really a shame that a lot of the fish that people eat are full of things like mercury and lead and other heavy metals and other pollutants that have been dumped into the oceans. Those fatty tissues of those very delicious fish are actually have become saturated with many of these toxic chemicals that cause, that are life-threatening for us. These chemicals are so life-threatening when they accumulate in our own fatty tissues. Then they disrupt the hormonal system and the nervous system and every other body system, really, because the body mistakes them because of their molecular structures, these synthetics and these pollutants. The body mistakes them for fat, so the body stores them, in the fatty tissues. So fortunately, though, the plant kingdom, again, offers so much in the way of helping us eliminate those toxins from our bodies. So the healthy fats in the diet are the ones that really help bind to these toxic chemicals and help us eliminate them out of the body safely. So a regular gradual detox is in order if you haven't eaten very healthfully, in your life. Then you're likely suffering from many health issues that are a result of it. So the only way to really reverse all of this damage from nutritional abuse, unknowingly, of course, people don't realize how their bodies work and what the body actually needs to maintain itself and be free of the disease process kind of thing. So fish fats are not recommended unless you have fish that are caught in the purest kind of pristine waters in the Arctic. So unless there's been an oil spill in the area, then usually the Arctic caught fish are the healthiest to eat. Not to say they may still have some pollutants in them, but I know a lot of supplement companies actually do a cleansing process when they extract the fish oils and encapsulate the fish oils for people. So, but fish really does have the healthy omega-3 fatty acids, and that's sad. The fattier fish, of course, will contain more of these toxic chemicals in them. So here's a chart that I put in the book, different types of fats that can be classified according to their molecular arrangements of carbon atoms and their number of double bonds of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. So that is the way of distinguishing the difference between the different kinds of fats. So when you look at these long chains or molecular arrangements of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms, they're going to have things that are reactive with oxygen and are more likely to become rancid or oxidized and will cause some harm in the body. So all fats need to be refrigerated at all times in tightly closed containers. And, buying smaller amounts is a good idea because you want to consume them sooner than later. If the longer they stay in the refrigerator, even though they're tightly closed, then they'll still begin to decompose and become what are called free radicals. So down at the atomic level, we're talking about electrons that are lost. And so when you consume them, then the body is always donating electrons to these free radicals. So you don't want to turn your healthy fatty acids into free radicals that are damaged. So keep them refrigerated. So anyway, on this chart, I just list basically the different types of fats. Saturated fats are from the animals, and unsaturated fats are from the plants, and the healthy animals also contain unsaturated fats. And then the trans fats are the unhealthy fats that I've discussed here. And then, of course, the foods that are high in the different types of fatty acids, the 3s and 6s and 9s. So I've also separated that out so that people know which foods contain what kinds of fatty acids, right? So then I go into the raw versus roasted, fried, sauteed, just avoiding these heat, molecularly altered, distorted molecules will go a long way toward keeping your body healthful, and avoid these trans fats, these different types of fats that have been damaged and molecularly altered that the body just does not understand and that those cell receptor sites will not accept. And so they circulate through the body, and they cause the clogging that I talked about and all sorts of other problems that happen when you eat the wrong fats. So the right types of foods, the right types of raw nuts and seeds, and uncooked, unroasted form is the best way to eat them. And so you want to either buy them in the shell or buy them in oxygen sealed, sealed packages to keep the oxygen away from them. Bring them home, refrigerate them, and when you open them, just make sure that you close them up tight and push all the air out of the bags or whatever container you put the nuts and seeds in. Make sure that it's airtight and always refrigerated. So yeah, they'll take up a little more extra space in your refrigerator, but you won't have any of the oils becoming free radicals, becoming damaged. That will do a lot of damage in your body. So we don't want that. And when you cook something, you diminish the light energy frequency that our plants store, the light energy from the sun that's transferred to our bodies, and raise the rate at which our molecules vibrate, and therefore our light energy frequency is maintained at a higher level, meaning we are more alive and healthful, and being able to utilize nutrients, and we have more energy, that kind of thing. So we want to use as many raw foods as possible, including the raw nuts and seeds. So when you cook them, it diminishes that light energy frequency, and so that renders them just a fraction of the light energy that our bodies need. And then unroasted, make sure they're unroasted so that you don't arrange their molecular structures to become those free radicals. All right, and here's more reasons for avoiding trans fats. I talked about the hydrogenated oils like margarine and shortening, deep fried oils at extremely hot temperatures. Now, those are driven toward their cancer-causing smoke points, and a lot of advertisers like to say, well, this oil has a high smoke point. In other words, it will not start smoking even with a high temperature and many repeated fryings. Well, it's subjected to heat anyway, and so those molecules are, those fragile molecules are just responding to the heat and forming these plasticized particles anyway. It might not completely form, into a saturated fat, but still those oxidized, cancer-causing types of molecules are there, so you do not want to heat oils, even sauteing them briefly. Usually sauteing means sauteing at a high temperature, so that starts that process of degenerating the oil. And why do that when you can have these delicious oils that will be a great marinade or a salad dressing? You can add later to your dish. That way you maintain the taste and the molecular structure, and you have a very healthy fat. I mean, heck, you can even just add them to your soups and salads or stews at the last minute like you would a condiment, kind of thing. They go great on different types of sandwiches. I mean, there's so many uses for raw, unheated, omega-3 fatty acid oils, all right? And so, yeah, this is what I I made that chart up here to show you the different types of fatty acids that are in these oils. And just, these just talk about the molecular structure of the fat and how reactive they are to heat. Okay, so there's the healthy 50-50 split. I figured, when people take in only plant fats, then that actually is going to break down the structure of your cells. So they're going to be more fragile. You'll be more prone to bruising. You'll form these red blemishes on your skin that just look bright red. That means everything is breaking down, and so it's bleeding. The tiny capillaries, the tiny blood vessels are actually broken and bleeding, and that's why you've got these little red bumps when you eat only plant fats. So we need also the cholesterol that helps the structure of the cells in your body, so that and also, of course, all the other reasons I explained that cholesterol is needed in the body. So you can just rewind and review that, rather than having me repeat myself here. So anyway, so the 50-50 split is what I call half animal fats, half plant fats. Keep them in proportion because they're double the amount of energy value or calories, so there people who eat more fat than they should are going to store the excess calories as body fat, even if they're healthy fats, right? But if you're exercising and you're eating a lot of other raw foods that are enzyme active, that'll help you break down those molecules of those types of fats and help distribute them more efficiently and help in other ways other than storing them as body fat for future energy use, kind of thing. So keeping up your high metabolism through doing all the right things for your body will help you utilize those fats much more effectively and will minimize the storage of excess body fat. Okay, so 50-50 split, that's important. And again, you can master your weight management, weight loss mastery. Just understand that when you're taking in more calories than you need in any sitting, your body's going to convert those excess calories to body fat, period. That's just the way we're designed. And the way to burn off excess body fat is to do the fat-burning exercises. Weight training will definitely increase your metabolism, but it won't burn body fat, very little. So sustained workouts, getting your heart rate up and getting that deep breathing going and letting your body produce the heat that produces the sweat is telling you that you're burning body fat. So anything that makes you sweat for a sustained amount of time, at least 15 to 30 minutes, several times a week, will help keep your body fat in check. And if you're on a weight loss program, put yourself on your own weight loss program. Don't do any of these crazy diets that make you hungrier in the end and make you just go crazy with excess calories after feeling deprived for several days. That's crazy. You'll just end up putting more body fat on that way. And when you starve yourself for several days, you're not burning body fat. You're wasting away your valuable body protein, which helps maintain the immune system and your strength and all these other things that you need your lean body mass for. Okay, so fats, the right types of fats, whole food fats, animal fats versus balanced with the plant fats, and the different types of exercises. You need weight training to keep the calcium in your bones, to keep your muscle strength, and to keep your figures. Weight training is a great way to sculpt the body and maintain great curvatures in the body. And but you can't see the curvatures if you have excess body fat, right? You've got extra curvatures that don't look quite appealing in our civilization, in our opinion, right? I don't know, that's just something that we've been programmed to believe, and that's part of our belief system. We've been influenced, all over the place as to what looks good on people and what doesn't. I just love the creation, and I want to honor that creation by just producing the artful way that bodies are produced, like in sculptures in all these different countries, right, where the bodies are muscular and lean. I think that's just absolutely beautiful personally. And so, of course, you've got this whole, exercise industry that has that same mindset, but it's actually the healthiest way to exist when your body has more lean tissue than it does body fat. Some body fat is important, of course. There's some kinds of, there's all these different things that the body needs fats for. So a little bit of storage is proper. But excess body fat can bring on a whole slew of health conditions. It's called metabolic syndrome, and that includes conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, and even cancers, and all sorts of inflammatory diseases. And also emotions. It can affect the hormonal system that govern our emotions. So people who are excess overweight, they might feel a lot of societal pressures, but mostly physiologically, their bodies are undergoing a shift in their hormones, and a slowing down of the metabolism, and that always is correlated with feelings of depression or other types of adverse and negative emotions that are just not healthy for a person. So, being fit and being optimally, vibrantly healthy has so many health benefits, has so many benefits in life, and this is what my mission is to have everyone feel what it feels like to be so healthy and, fit. You don't have to go crazy in the fitness, arena, but a little bit of weight training, a little bit of aerobic workouts several times a week, 3-4 times a week, different kinds of exercises to mix it up and make it more interesting, and just loving your living temple enough to take good care of it so it will take care of you. So that's the key to being fit and healthful. Okay, so all right, so you can manage your weight easily by nipping it in the bud and exercising the excess off, nourishing and replenishing after every workout, because you do use a lot of your body's resources when you work out, so that needs replenishing, not just for your physical structure, but also for your immune system, and your metabolic activities that keep you alive at the cell level. Okay, so, you've got pictures of overweight people versus people who just dedicated themselves to eating better and managing their stress, because stress does produce the stress hormones that can cause weight gain, or even, harden the arteries and cause all kinds of health issues. So managing your stress is very important. Have fun, laugh, and have good relationships, really communicate with people, and hang around with people who are good for you, not bad for you. So that's, something that you have to decide, not me. But anyhow, this is what the way to do it. It's not that hard. People who say, well, I've been trying to lose weight for years and it just doesn't work. Well, you may not have done it this way. And also, you have to keep in mind that the body tends to put on weight naturally. It's not, some people are luckier than others. No, some people work harder than others at nourishing themselves properly and managing their weight properly, exercising and that kind of thing. So it's you have to put it all together. If any one thing is missing, then something will go wrong. If you're missing a nutrient, all these different biochemical processes will come to a halt in the body when that nutrient is missing. So you have to have the full range of nourishment, and this is why I created my nutritional synergy system to help people make the right choices. And it's all in this book that I'm showing you here. So, like I just said, the only way to reduce excess body fat, the only way is to put all of the above together. And this is just a picture of what adipose tissue looks like. It's just a depiction. It's not an actual photograph, but it'll give you an idea of what these fat cells might look like, and also how it's stored underneath the skin. All right. So yes, I love seeing before and after pictures, and this is always so much fun. It just takes dedication. Losing 1 pound of body fat per week means reducing your calorie intake by 350 calories. That's not too hard. Reducing the fats, reducing the sugars, but not eating too many of the proteins, just enough so that you feel satisfied and have enough energy to perform your daily life and your workouts. So, that kind of balance, you have to pay attention and monitor yourself, and until it becomes second nature, which doesn't take too long. So, yeah, I mean, that's what needs to be done, just paying attention to what your body truly needs. And in this book that I'm showing you right here, it has all of the vitamins and minerals and what they do for the body in this one chapter, and I list an array of the biochemical compounds that are so beneficial to our health in the plant kingdom, and the importance of protein and how that works in the body, whole food carbohydrates, not refined sugars. So I make those comparisons in the book too. So it's just a whole mastery, health, nutritional health mastery that this book is all about, that will show you and help you become truly a master of your own body weight and of your own health. Okay, so, that's pretty much it. Here's the healthy body fat percentages of men and women of certain ages that are pretty good, They can fluctuate. They can, like, say, a man who is 60 years old, he can be anywhere from 13 to 25% of body fat, depending on how physically active that person is. So you see how these different body fat percentages apply to people of different ages. Okay, so, I go into more philosophy here, but that's pretty much it. I like to see people out there getting their exercise. And if you're overweight and you decide to join a gym, don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Don't be intimidated. Everyone there probably started out overweight too. And so, over time, making it a habit to be a part of your lifestyle, to go to the gym, at least twice a week, to work all the body parts and get on the aerobic machines, or if you go for walks out in the sunshine where your body can develop or create vitamin D3, which is so important for your health too, precursors to thousands of hormones the body makes. And so getting that sunlight also to help your cells store that energy, light energy in our cells to make us more alive. So, you've got to put it all together. And it's all in this book, Nutritional Synergy. And so if you'd really like to get a copy of this, I will send out the announcements to those who contact me on my website, holisticchoices.com, and fill out the contact form. Just put your name and your email address and tell me that you'd like to be notified when the book is available. Okay, and I don't know if you've been to my website. If you're new to this, I'm going to show you my website really quickly here and all the other books that are for sale there. So, every book I write has a different purpose, and here it is, the books by Mary Esther Gilbert. See holisticchoices.com, books by Mary Esther Gilbert. Click on that, and you've got the first book I ever wrote was True Health Mastery. It's kind of just like this whole conglomerate of all these different philosophies and factual data that when you put it all together, you will have a whole health person. And it's really fun to read. It's got a lot of great things in it. And then, of course, I wrote a How to Select the Right Nutritional Supplement. That is a relatively small book. I wrote it quickly for a friend of mine who asked me, he's a fitness trainer, certified fitness trainer, and he asked me, what should I tell my clients? How can I direct them to the right supplements? So I wrote the book on how to select the right supplements, having examined many supplements for the last 45 years, and examined what nutrients go into supplements. So I really did some research there and produced a booklet there for that. You can also get these books through Amazon. Well, actually, you have to get them through Amazon. Click on this, and you'll get both books either in print form or in ebook form. So these two books, I changed the cover on the Nutritional Synergy System book, so I will update that. But the other book, Eating for Physical Power and Stamina, I wrote that for athletes, people who are more fit, even people who aren't fit, and who want to raise their metabolism and do the exercises that it takes to transform their physique and transform their health. Okay, so those two really go hand in hand. Although in the Nutritional Synergy System book, I do have a section on the different kinds of exercise and how to take your pulse so that you know what your resting pulse rate is, your training heart rate is, your maximum heart rate when you embark on an exercise program. And if you have physical ailments and you want to exercise, check with your medical doctor to make sure that it's safe for you to start. Okay? Just you have to start where you are, no matter how unfit or how fit you are or how long it's been since you've exercised. Just, go about it gently and build up to your level of fitness that I know you're capable of being in. And this other book is kind of a star pupil kind of book. So I've compiled and done research on 109 botanicals that are really superfoods, and so much science is behind these, and there's so many scientific references in this book. It's a 500-page book. It's really a tome, what they call a tome, because it's just really a textbook of data that describes in detail what the 109 foods and herbs and mushrooms, I mean, there's so many different botanicals in this book that that people can learn what the plant kingdom does for the body. And it's really extensive and really fascinating, and people actually love it. Actually, I've got 100% 5-star reviews on Amazon on this book. I find that really exciting, considering it took me months to put the book together. But yeah, that's one of my pride and joys there. And of course, you can get it through Amazon as a print copy or as a ebook. Okay, so the next two that will be produced, or actually published, are these two books right here, and I'm trying to get those finished amidst all my client work and my own workouts, you know, and my own attention to my own nutrition and maintaining my lifestyle. So you've got to work hard, you've got to play hard, and you can only do that if you maintain your health and optimize it. And this is the only way to do it. This is the only way. There's no shortcuts. Our cells are governed by universal forces that are you know, at work in the whole entire universe, all the way from the microbial life forms in the earth, in nature, and beyond, you know, the infinite small universe, infinitely small universe. When you go smaller and smaller and smaller, those forces are governed by the same universal laws as much as the whole entire universe. You know, at the macro scale, we all have to comply. There's no choice. That's just how we're made, and we all have to comply with these universal laws that govern how our bodies work. All right, so that's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's call, and yeah, do just go to my website and start exploring. There's a lot of great videos there. Go to my YouTube channel, type in Mary Esther Gilbert at the YouTube search box. I'm starting to migrate things over to Rumble, but in the meantime, I'm still at YouTube, so just feel free to explore everything and just educate yourself and have fun doing it and become the better, higher version of yourself, right? The healthier version, and just elevate yourself and find out what it's like to live in this higher plane of existence. You'll love it, and you'll be surprised at how great you are and how much of a super being you truly are. All right, so over and out, everyone. Good night and enjoy. See you next time. Bye.